guys, it's Margaret, and today I'm bringing you an Amazon FBA sales update, and these are some sales from the month of April. Now, I'm not sharing all my sales this month because I just recorded that video and got to the end of it, and I shared all of my sales, and then I went to review it, and my volume it didn't record the volume. I didn't test before. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm like, I can't do it again. It's just too much right now. So I will share with you some of my sales, and I'll have the thing down on, so you can kind of see it anyway. All right, I made a little over $500 in the month of April on Amazon FBA, and as most of you know, I don't go out and do what they call RA, retail arbitrage, where you go out specifically, scan, to send in things, and I'm more of like the bottom feeder of the FBA, where I go to garage sales, thrift stores. If I happen to pass the clearance section, I'll scan things. If I find things new in the box, books, whatnot, and then I'll just kind of go from there. So I don't send in a whole lot of replenishable things that I need to keep finding more of that particular item. I do a little bit during the holidays just for a little boost. But I am, like I was saying in the last one, the bottom feeder of FBA. So that's the new thing. That's the catfish. I'm a catfish. The catfish of FBA. Right there. Okay, so for my fellow bottom feeders, I will share with you some of the things that I found at thrift stores, garage sales, and clearance sections around. So, and some of these I sold multiples of this month, which I don't know. I was saying in the last video, which you will not get to see. Oh my gosh, quit playing with it, Margaret. Let's just fix it. As I was saying, I sold multiples of certain items this month, and I think the reason for that is that the person who had the lowest price, there are people that have lower prices, and when they sell out, then it's like the next lower price person gets their turn to sell like all their junk. So I think that was what happened because I sold a lot of the same type of items. I'll go through, and that way if you're like dying to just see everything, I'll go through and just scroll real quick. So you can see, and I'll just talk through real quick what you're looking at. So here, is the item. This is from, this is the month of April. I'm a month behind. So this is the item. This is the total that the buyer spent. Rebates and whatnot. This is Amazon fees, which usually is about half. And then this is the total. And just, so generally, books, kids' books are about 10 cents in my local thrift store that I like going to. And then adult books are about 50 cents or $1, depending. I don't like to spend more than $1 or so on a book because, unless I know that there's a really good profit behind it, I don't generally. VHS tapes at my local thrift store are 10 for $1, and sometimes they're 20 for $1 when they have too many. So that's about the price range that some of those things go. So when I say the net that I make, just know that we'll take that off of that. I know that this is not the actual net because I know I have to subtract the amount I spent. So here we go. So here we have this Lego Duplo ambulance, and I picked these up. I did pick them up at Target on clearance, and they were so inexpensive that I ended up buying, 12 or 15 of them. So here it is, Lego. It sold for $14.25, and that net me $9.09. And I sold probably about 5 or 6 of them in April. So I must have been, like I said, the last person sold out. And then also, come on now, let's not start that again. I have sold a lot of Stephen King books in April. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a new Stephen King movie or show out or a new book, but I sold a lot of Stephen King books. Now, the Stephen King books that I have, I bought in a lot from a lady off a local garage sale site. Two huge bags full of hardback Stephen King books and some other ones. And in one of the bags, now I bought them all for $20. In one of the books, I found a $20 bill. So that paid for the whole thing. There. So here we have Tommy Knockers sold for $9.99, and my net was $4.43. So yeah, a lot of the nets are not a huge amount, but they were enough that, you know, it all adds up apparently to 500 something dollars. So here we have some playing cards. I got these at Walgreens, and they were like in a tin, and they were on sale. All the playing cards and stuff were on sale. So I picked these up for maybe $1. It was super cheap. And I think I sent in two. I think actually two of them sold this month. So they sold for $10.99, and my net was $5.56. All right. And then a lot of these also sold this month. I picked up some color shifter Hot Wheel cars. They were on sale. I think it was the grocery store that had all their Hot Wheels on sale for like 50 cents or something like that. So and these were in there with them. So I was like grabbing all the color shifter ones I could. I knew my boys liked them, and other people liked them too. So here we go. So it sold for $10.89, and my net was $6.24. And then my Thai Beanie Babies, I always like scanning them to see if they make a good profit. My thrift store up here sells plush for, usually it's 50 cents. When they get too many, sometimes they knock it down to a quarter. So this was probably about 50 cents to a quarter. I won't pay more than that for a Beanie Baby. But it sold for $12.50, and my net was $7.60. And then this one, in the other video there's no audio, I could not remember where I picked up this book, but it sold for $59.99, and my net was $48.08. I couldn't remember. Where did it come from? And then this one, okay, so right after Christmas, at my grocery store up here, they put all of their like kinetic sand, Barbies, all the toys and stuff were like 75%. I mean, they were trying to get rid of them. They were so cheap. Like Barbies were like $1, and kinetic sand's like $2 or $2.50 for a thing of it. And so I had like my cart just full of it. And then my friend's husband comes around the corner, just like, you need some toys, Margaret? You know, because I don't think he knows what I do, you know, so I just like had this cart literally packed full of toys. Like, yeah, I need toys. Yeah. Anyway, so I picked up a number of Barbie. I don't know if I pulled up another one of the Barbies, but generally not the blonde Barbies. The ones that are more ethnic, the ones with the dark hair, the darker skin will... I feel weird saying ethnic. Let's just put that out there. I don't know, because then it's like whatever. Don't get me started. Anyway, you know what I mean. The blonde ones don't sell as well. They just don't. Okay. I don't know. All right, where are you? Here you are. You sold for $9.42, and so my net there was $4.99. I think you know what I mean. So, okay, my point on this one, I pulled this one up to share with you, Pappyland. I have no idea what this is, but it was weird, different. It wasn't a VHS of a movie that everybody knows and everybody sees, and it's something that's really common. It was just different. So I thought I would pick it up and see. Now I've got to find it. Here it is. Pappyland. Pappyland sold for $12.49, and so my net was $7.36. So look for the things that are different, weird, not stuff you see every single day. This I was saying in the other one, like, I don't even remember where I picked this up. I don't remember it. But I scanned it in, and it sold for $19.98. It's a doll outfit, and so the net there was $13.96. Yeah, just scan stuff. That's like my bottom feeder. If I see a new and packaged thing, I pick it up, scan it, and move on with it, you know? This was one of my grandmother's books. I encourage you to look for things that have to do with porcelain arts or instructional type manuals on painting or photography or things like that to scan, because they tend to do okay. Okay, yeah. So here we have it, and oops, it sold for $33.94, and my net was $24.38. And then again, this Tiana set, I think I sold 2 of them this month. And I may have sold some last month as well. I love finding Tiana stuff because it's hard to come by, and people look for it. So this Tiana set sold. Here she is. So she sold for $19.99, and my net was $13.97. See, here's another one there. And this, I had a big rant in the other one. I am this year, after when school goes back into session and they have all the like lunch boxes and backpacks on sale for cheap, I'm buying some extra ones because sure enough, at the end of this school year, my kids' lunch boxes and backpacks were falling apart. And you know that's what happened here. It's like April something, and this mom is probably like, I can't smell this lunch kit one more time, you know, and you go to the store and there's not that many, the choices are very limited. And so they, you know, I think I picked this up for $1, you know. Here it is. It's over $14.99. And so my net there was $9.72. And my boys' backpacks were falling apart. And I actually found a blue one at a garage sale, just like straight blue. And I was like, here, because I'm not going to go spend whatever at the store. I'm buying extras next year. I am. Another tie sold. Again, I probably spent 50 cents or a quarter on Lawrence the Camel, this tie camel. And he sold for $12.93, and I net $7.97 on him. And then this is another one, you know, it's a how to paint fur and feathers type of book. And it's sold for $17.99, and I net $11.64. It might have been one of my grandmother's books. I can't remember. And then this is another one that I picked up at the grocery store. My friend's husband ran into me. So here she is. You know, again, the blonde Barbies were not going for that great. And this one actually went for a really good price. She is. So she sold for $15.98, and my net was $10.56. Tribal print romper. And then this one was another, just an example of just a random book that you don't see a lot of. Just as an example that take a look at everything. Take a look at things that are not the normal, like you see it all the time type of books. It didn't bring a whole lot, but I probably spent a quarter or 50 cents on it. So my net was $4.03. And then finally, older books. This is one, I bought a lot of Tom Swift books at a church garage sale. And Tom Swift, I sold a number of them this month as well. So this one, here we go. This one sold for $14.25, and my net was $8.85. So yeah, those are some of the sales I had. As you can see, I'll just scroll real quick so you can kind of look, you know, whatever, why not? So you can kind of see what all I've got. You know, I have some VHS. Oh, I didn't show you any of those, did I? Barney. I had a few Barney VHS sell. Another like We Sing type VHS. And again, I picked it up for, it was like 10 cents or a nickel. Doctor Who, I spent some 99 cents or 79 cents at Goodwill for some Doctor Who VHS that sold. So yeah, just keep your eyes open if you're one of those bottom feeders like me of the FBA, because there are profits to be made. And for sure, there are profits to be made if you do retail arbitrage and you go out and you hit it hard and you look for it and you send it in and you do all of that. Awesome. There's tons of money to be made. I mean, people are making full-time money on doing that. It's just not my passion, so I'm happy just doing it the way I do it, and this is probably going to get annoying, but I'm having fun, like the bottom feeder. Just picking up things that I'm finding here, there, and everywhere to send in. And again, like I said, I've sent in 2 shipments this year. I sent in a shipment January, February, and then I sent in a shipment in May. 2 boxes went in May. So it's really super passive for me. Once I get it all sent in, I just sit back and don't have to really do anything. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. Make sure you get your daily dose of good luck by going down and hitting that like button wherever it may be, because I know it moves around. So here it is, sprinkling your good luck dust on your like button, and make sure you go out and enjoy yourselves, guys. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, bottom feeders.